The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Go Cowboys! This is Media Mash,
A roundtable of Cowboys insiders
dropping wisdom
and offering sizzling takes
on the current state of your Dallas Cowboys.
Now, your host,
Newy Scruggs.
Let's ride. Media Mash right here on Tuesday, the Omega Sci-Fi edition. Clarence Hill in the house, All City, Dallas, doing his thing for you. I'm Newy Scruggs. Brother, big week for you, man. Your number one Texas Longhorns in town, Cotton Bowl, Dallas. You got your ticket. You are ready to roll for this one.
I do have my tickets. I just got them today from the big man upstairs.
Excellent.
You know who the big man is, don't you?
Chris Del Conte.
Whoa, hey, ha-ha.
In my UT world.
Fourth word connections make a difference.
Okay. Funky Town's finest.
Funky Town's finest. But, Newy, I'm glad you're awake today. You're alive. You good? Because you went to sleep on me last Tuesday. I just wanted to know you was fading on me. Look like you got energy today.
Wow. So, Chris, it is 1 minute into the show.
Look like you got a little energy today.
Chris, it is 3:01.
Got energy
17,
today. You feeling good today?
And
you
he
feeling
already
good, big
got
guy?
shot fired. Producer Chris, right? Write that down, Producer Chris.
And, you speaking of Texas, I know there's a Cowboys show. Wow. Alabama should have never jumped us last week. Just because they beat Georgia in the last minute, just because Georgia and Alabama played a close game in the final 5 minutes, should have never jumped us. They would never. It's ridiculous. God don't like ugly, which is why they lost to Vanderbilt. Now Texas is back to number one, as they should be.
And we'll be favored this week. I'm picking them in my Dallas Morning News picks.
Double digit favorite.
I'm going with Texas to win and cover in this game.
Make it happen. But, this game is fluky. Anything can happen. They've been a better team the last 3 years. They lost last year.
I think Sark gets it done. I think Sark, to me, I feel like Sark is now coaching when the way they thought he would be when he took the Washington Husky game, like, hey, we think this guy can be this. I feel like he's now living up to what people thought he could be and what SC hoped he could be. Clearly, he learned a bunch of great lessons from Nick Saban in Alabama, brought that type of style and built his program at Texas that way. So I think Sark, to me, it feels like Sark knows what he wants to do and he's getting it going. So good on him.
He's confident. He has the resources. He certainly has built and recruited in SEC way. The roster is ready to go. Just to consider all the receivers, the people that lost in the draft, after all the years of not having any draft picks, they had a nice run. They lost a lot of key players to the draft. And it is reloaded.
Yeah, and good for Sark to overcome the personal things that he has in his past to get where he is today, which shows you that, you know what, if you have your own faith and you can keep rolling along, that you can have some valleys in your life and get up to the mountaintop. So good luck to him.
Since we're on coaches,
all right,
let's talk about Mike McCarthy, because I thought that game, that performance, that effort was a great win for him. And what this team thinks of him. They don't quit on Mike McCarthy. A lot of media people have been hating on Mike McCarthy. Some valid or not valid, whatever you want to say. This team never quits on Mike McCarthy. Remember when they lost Dak a couple of years ago? Mm-hmm. 5 games, they go 4-1. You look at a lot of teams across the league, they lose their starting quarterback. You don't go 4-1, including one of those wins over Joe Burrow in Cincinnati.
Yes.
They have obviously that was broken this year. They had a long streak of never losing back-to-back games. Certainly they lost back-to-back home games this year, and everybody thought the sky was falling. Well, they've won 2 straight. And then you can say all you want to. They just beat the Giants. Just beat the Steelers. Look what the Giants did the week after losing to the Cowboys. They go to Seattle and beat Seattle.
Winning is winning.
Okay. This week, Steelers team. We can talk about how they flawed they were. And I picked the Cowboys over the Steelers last week, 20-18, because I said the Steelers were a flawed team. They were going to come back to the mean.
Actually, you didn't. Let me give it to you.
Every other show I picked them. I don't know why I didn't do it on this show.
No, you did pick it. Can we tell you?
I did pick the Steelers. I picked the Cowboys.
I'm going to shock you.
What?
Chris Bean, no lie. I wrote down Clarence's pick. He picked the Cowboys to win 20-17.
Right. I thought I did, yes. I picked it because I said the Steelers case, they don't score, They don't score. But still to move the ball the way they did on that defense. You can say what you want about that offense, but that defense, Steelers offense, but the Cowboys to move the ball the way they did, up and down the field really, without Brandon Cooks. without Tyler Guyton, having to shuffle things, then to do what they did
Losing
on
Zach Martin in the game. Marshawn Kneeland goes out in the first series.
That just, they don't, this is not a great team, and they may not be a Super Bowl team, but they continue to compete. And you got to give Mike McCarthy credit, the connection he has with the players. Certainly, I thought it was cool that Dak and the quarterback, some of the coaches went to his bar the night before. And they called Mike McCarthy on the phone because he was at his parents' house and sent him a picture. Look where we are. Because Mike always talks about the bar. He grew up in a bar. His dad was a bar owner, and they were at the bar, and they said, we're coming over to the house. And they went over to the house, and that just tells you the connection and love that they have for their coach. And certainly Dak is connected with Mike McCarthy.
I have long since been and done many commentaries on Channel 5 about what I feel about Mike McCarthy. I think Mike McCarthy is a good coach. You and I have spoken about this several times of the myth. And we covered Sean Payton. We like Sean Payton. But there's a myth that Sean Payton is this great guru who's some Hall of Fame head coach, and that Mike McCarthy is some guy who just stumbled along because he had Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers and can't coach. Mike McCarthy and Sean Payton have the same record. They both have the same number of wins. They both have had Hall of Fame quarterbacks. Mike is a dang good coach. And this is a team full of warts.
Right.
Okay? It's a lot of warts. And I'll always remember a great conversation I had with Doug Collins one time at a media scrum, the former NBA coach and broadcaster. He said, as a coach, your job is to cover up the warts. And nobody did a better job of covering up the warts before and during the game the way Mike McCarthy and his staff did against Pittsburgh. We were talking about the game. I was like, we've forgotten that not only did Carson not play.
Right. Yeah, they're the third cornerback.
Deron Bland, we've forgotten Deron Bland's on the team. You've forgotten about that. And a cornerback who could have helped them, Stephon Gilmore, was on TV earlier in the day playing for the Minnesota Vikings, who were undefeated, and had a pick of Aaron Rodgers that helped seal the game. So you're starting to look at these different things that are going on here. And except Marshawn Kneeland getting hurt, and then here's DeMarion Overshown, who is not a rookie, but this is the first time he's played because no rookies making an impact in the game. Mike talked about we need some patience with the running game. And people are like, well. Boom. Guess what? Mike was right. Gets 20 carries for Rico Dowdle. He played a very integral part of special.
Against a team that stops the run. Nobody runs on the Steelers like that. I mean, people don't forget that. And they did it against a team that stops the run. And you talk about covering the warts. Not just during this game. Not just before this game. Before this season.
Sure.
I mean, let's really let's just talk about the contract situation, the environment.
Sure.
Your quarterback, your receiver not in training camp, not signing guys. He's having to work miracles and be competitive, and really the charges to take him to the NFC Championship game to keep his job. And that's a big charge.
Which I disagree with.
Right, but. How do you justify give him a new deal if he don't go that far?
Okay.
How do you justify that?
So for me, it's been simple. You go back to just last season alone when you won 12 games, you won another division championship, and you say, okay, there's only one person in this league that's won more regular season games than you, and that is Andy Reid. And I go back to Andy Reid, who ended up, had some really good years in Philadelphia, then went over to Kansas City, had some good years. Then Patrick Mahomes helped him become a Super Bowl winning head coach. But you want to be in it. Throughout Andy's career, he was always in it.
Right.
And I remember for a while, we had, 5 NFC championship games and lost about 4 of them. And for a while, he was in Philadelphia. He had some tough runs there. But overall, we see Andy is now a Hall of Fame head coach. But you want to be coaching and be there. Mike McCarthy comes from that Marty Schottenheimer tree. And God bless Marty, never could make the Hall of Fame, but his teams competed year in and year out. You want to have a team that competes. And whenever Marty left places, things fell off. And I go back and think of what all the things that a guy like Mike McCarthy has done with this team, with this franchise. In their first year, Dak Prescott had his best career ever. CeeDee Lamb had his best year ever. So you're calling the plays. I don't know about you, but from the time he was hired here, I didn't understand why Kellen Moore was around. Because if you hire Sean Payton, you're going to ask Sean Payton to call the plays. If you hire Mike McCarthy, you have Mike McCarthy call the plays.
No doubt, and run his offense.
So he's your head coach. He's your offensive coordinator. You had a very good year. Now you decide to go ultra cheap. You're all in means I'm not paying nobody except for these couple of dudes. Oh, by the way, Mike, I need you to get up here and give me the same meal with all the same things with less groceries.
No, and not the same meal. Do more. You're asked to do, and I hear what you're saying, but I don't know that they make the playoffs. I don't know that they get to the. I mean, this season is tough, and we got a lot to go. But to be where they are, to do what they've done, all I'm saying is this team will fight for Mike McCarthy. There are a lot of hills to climb.
And that, to me, is when we talk about guys getting contract extensions. And Kevin Stefanski, Cleveland, contract extension. With the way they're handing out these extensions here, Mike McCarthy and what he's done, he's earned it.
Yes, but we're in Dallas. We're in Dallas.
Okay, so we want.
And we're 20. I don't mean to cut you off, but but I understand
Go
that.
ahead.
But you can't bring up Stefanski. You can't bring up Cleveland. You can't bring up Miami because he and Dak and Zeke and everybody else. It's not about the last 3 years, not about the last 4 years. It's about the last 29 years. And that's the cloud that's hanging over them.
The cloud,
it's not fair.
Right. Mike out here being Jesus, paying for Jerry's sins.
Yes, and ultimately,
Uncle Wade's sins.
Ultimately,
Jason Garrett's sins.
And ultimately, he will. That's what it is.
That's a lot to carry around.
Yeah, and so you can't, So to say he's done enough, how does Jerry sell it to the fan base? If they don't make the playoffs, they go one and done.
The same way he sells his GM to the fan base each year.
Well, the GM, as Jerry famously said, the GM was always going to be in the family photo. Head coach don't have to be. GM ain't going nowhere.
You and I know this.
He said it to me in very colorful words. Yes, I'm the best GM ever. Best GM in the league. Nobody can do this job better than me. Okay.
Is that his puffy moment? When I can do anything.
Do not bring Jerry in the same vein as Puffy right now.
Let's talk about that one.
I know what you, no, don't bring Jerry's videos in the same because he got a video out there. We're not going to do that. Do not bring videos up. Jamie Foxx video. Don't bring that stuff up in the same vein right there. That's following you. You're going to get a call from
Post Malone.
You're going to get a call from the head. You're going to get a call. You're going to get a call from the head Q, okay? I'm just telling you. Don't do that.
Mike McCarthy earned a contract extension. When I look at what you want a leader and what you want from a guy for your team, that's it. We can talk all day long about postseasons and failures and should have had this, should have had that. As a Carolina basketball fan, I used to hear people complain about Dean Smith. Should have won more.
He should have won more.
And
the only person to keep Jordan under 20 points was Dean Smith.
Don't ever say that. Don't ever say that.
Don't ever say what?
Don't ever say that.
Let's run this four corners offense, guys. We got the best players on the court. Let's spread it out and run four corners.
Play of the year. Play of the year right there, right?
Four corners. Let's play keep away basketball with the best athletes in college basketball.
Why am I talking college basketball? You don't know what it is.
Speaking of Jerry,
you from Texas. You don't know college basketball.
Speaking of Jerry on the radio, and we'll go more into it, but today somebody asked him about Jalen Tolbert's injury on the radio.
Let's take a break and come back and recap Jerry and his radio show today.
And Texas Live.
He didn't hold him under 20.
He did hold him under 20 points.
System.
Whose system was it?
A successful system. He won a national championship. He won a national
Four
championship.
Corners guys, you go out there and spread. You play, hold the ball.
I'm Newy Scruggs with this guy.
Hold the ball.
This guy.
Jordan.
This is DallasCowboys.com.
Drawback finds Pearson. It's caught. Touchdown.
The Dallas Morning News delivers full press coverage of the Cowboys.
Aikman straight drop, throws it over the middle. Irvin in for the touchdown, Cowboys.
We cover your Cowboys from the preseason to the postseason and beyond.
Boot to the right. Looking down the field. Lamb. Victory.
Game by game, play by play. No one delivers your Cowboys like the Dallas Morning News. Connect deeper to the Dallas Cowboys with the Dallas Morning News.
I'm Cowboys alumni Danny McCray, here with Smoothie King asking, what's that sound? That's the sound of me sipping one of their power-packed smoothies with over 10 grams of protein. With real fruits and organic veggies, because at Smoothie King, what you see is what you sip. So grab a delicious Smoothie King smoothie, throw a straw in your jaw, and get sipping real. Smoothie King, the official smoothie of the Dallas Cowboys.
To kick off the 2023 NFL season, Hugo Boss teamed up with the NFL and Micah Parsons to launch an iconic apparel collection featuring hoodies, crews, t-shirts, polos, joggers, and more. The bold, unique apparel of the Boss NFL collection unites football and fashion while reflecting what it truly means to be a boss. Get yours today at nflshop.com/HugoBoss, at HugoBoss.com, and at Boss retail stores. Hashtag be your own boss.
Hey Cowboy fans, I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. But lately, I've been learning a new game, crypto. Sound confusing? Don't worry, even us pros were rookies in crypto once. That's why I trust blockchain.com. They make crypto easy. No confusing jargon, just the tools to help you win.
Prescott keeps it, slides with a first down.
Invest like your icons, where everyone is a rookie in crypto with blockchain.com.
Perfect throw, my goodness. Wow, did he ever thread the needle.
Visit blockchain.com/cowboys to get started.
Back to Media Mash.
This is the Media Mash. I'm Newy Scruggs with Clarence Hill of All City Dallas. Make it Tuesday. Is that okay? Can we call it that?
You call it whatever you want to call it. You named it.
I think somebody else named it last time.
You set the show up.
Hey, Eta Theta, Derek Eagleton, Clarence Hill, the Texas brothers
you set the
made
show
it
up.
happen. I'm just happy to be along for the ride. I appreciate you.
You are the quarterback, sir. You like Aaron Rodgers. You make moves behind the scenes like Aaron Rodgers fired his coach today. That's what you do.
Aaron Rodgers was that LeBron playbook.
He fired his coach today.
Yes, he
You gonna
did.
try to fire him offense coordinator? Well, you gone.
Yeah, and Aaron Rodgers got Paul Hackett right. The problem of the Jets is a Paul Hackett, which, once again, we spent our last segment talking about Mike McCarthy. This is why you have a guy extended like Mike McCarthy, because you're seeing what they're out here winning in some circumstances that aren't real good, and there's no dissension. There's no dissension. No. Even though people tried to make it seem as though CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott had dissension in the game, when you read the lips and whatnot, you saw that this was football going on here.
Yeah, and that's what frustrates me is that, and it's really with the Cowboys, and people want to make something, and I think it's part of the CeeDee Lamb's previous sideline rants and sulking, but they want to make something out of things that are nothing, and that whole, if you read the lips, and first with Chris Collins' words, I'm not a lip reader. You're insinuating something negative. You're insinuating something bad. It's like Jerry said on the radio. First of all, it's competitive. People should be able to go at each other on the sideline. You should be able to disagree. You should be able to have fiery moments. You should be able to have passion. Quarterbacks and receivers have been complaining about balls since the beginning of time. But it should not. But now in the day of every camera on everything, it's like, oh, this decision on the team. Going back to the end of the last season when so-called CeeDee Lamb's mother went after Dak, and people have made something between the two guys. CeeDee Lamb's greatest success. CeeDee Lamb owes his contract to Dak Prescott feeding him the ball. Okay? Why would Dak Prescott not want to get CeeDee Lamb the ball? In moments when things happen, you're going to be frustrated. But CeeDee Lamb ain't mad at Dak. He said, jump ball. Throw me a jump ball. I think Dak was right. If you look at that play, Dak threw the back shoulder. Mike McCarthy talked about they ran 4 verticals, okay? But the defensive back was in the back of the end zone. If CeeDee Lamb threw the stops and maybe does the back shoulder, it may have a chance. I don't know if throwing in the back end zone would have had a chance, other than maybe a jump ball, but, I think it was clearly a miscommunication, but it wasn't CeeDee going after Dak and saying something derogatory about Dak. He said, jump ball, I got you for. If you look at it, jump ball, I got you for. I got you.
He said, jump ball, I got you.
Yes. That's what he said. And there's nothing else that can be interpreted that negative. You look at it, nothing else. He didn't, call him the black Kirk Cousins or trash or anything like that. Because Kirk Cousins don't win in primetime games. All Dak does is win primetime. 27-11, primetime.
Yes, it's going to Atlanta, Kirk Cousins turned that thing around.
I'm just talking about Dak in primetime. Historically, he's been great in primetime.
He has been.
He's one of 4 quarterbacks in history with over 700 win percentage in primetime games. He's a primetime Dak. That's what he is. But, it's crazy. People, look for controversy, especially when a team is struggling, and they can, it's like the Deshaun Watson thing, and there was so much this week. I don't know if you saw the video, and some reporter said, and they got retweeted and everything else, he quit on the Browns. He didn't quit on the Browns. They had 12 men in the huddle. Okay? They were counting 12 men in the huddle. He said, we can't run this play.
Automatic flag.
Yes. So he was walking to the sideline, and the coach didn't see it, and it seemed like he was quitting on the coach and quitting on the Browns, and that's the video. You don't always know the story. That's the problem. That's the problem a lot of times with people watching film, people watching video who don't know the context and draw conclusions. And really, it was born out of the fact that you don't like Watson. So you're looking for the negative. You're looking for something. And same thing with CeeDee Lamb. People, when things are bad, people are looking for controversy, and that begets all the negative stuff that people retweet and amplify. You're amplifying negativity because that's what you were looking for. And that's the case with the Cowboys right now. People are looking for drama. They're looking for them to fail because all the attention on and everything else. And so that's part of what happened. And, of course, at the end of the game, when CeeDee Lamb is blocking, throwing 2 blocks for Jake Ferguson, nobody's amplifying that. No one's amplifying him being a team player. He didn't get the ball out in the second half, but he was in there. The fact that the coverage rolling through him, which allowed Tolbert to have one-on-one coverage, for the game-winning touchdown. We're not talking about that. We're only amplifying. CeeDee only had 1 reception in the second half. Why? Because they're rolling coverage. They're trying to take him away, and Dak has to look for other people.
And that was also something that we had spoken about on Media Mash and other Dallas Cowboys podcasts did as well, was who's going to be the person to step in and do something more than Brandon Cooks. And Jalen Tolbert was that guy. He got the opportunity because CeeDee Lamb has been such a good player. And
the thing about Jalen Tolbert, which is funny, because the play before the touchdown, after Dak falls on the fumble, right? It's 3rd and goal. Dak makes a low throw to Tolbert, who's, again, in the back of the end zone. The ball hit him in the family jewels. Can we say that here?
You just did.
We can say that.
You just did.
The growing area.
The genitalia.
We can say genitalia.
It's proper medical term.
Yeah, we can use medical term. That's where the ball hit him. Because I was like, what's wrong? I thought it was hamstring. He was bent over and all of this. And because they were getting ready to run the 4th down play, and he's bent over and going huddling, so they call a timeout or whatever. And he goes to the sideline, and then he comes back. Guess they shook it off. And then the 2 things about that play, and we'll get to Jerry Jones. 2 things about that play is that they did the crosses, and unlike Schoonmaker against the Eagles, who did not get to the end zone, when they did the crossers, he came out the end zone, then he veered back into the end zone. So when he caught the ball, he was in the end zone. That's important because you have to know where you are. It's called field awareness. You have to know where you are. He caught the ball and made a strong catch because it was a perfect throw, but the defense back was trying to knock it on. He held the ball. That was a strong catch. So give him props. That's a step. Last year against the Eagles, Schoonmaker did not run his route into the end zone. You got to be in the end zone on plays like that. And he was in the end zone, was able to score a touchdown. But he had to overcome, which Tyler Smith said so colorful in the locker room, a sprained genitalia.
Got broke. Got broke.
So on the radio today, they asked Jerry about how many ways can you sprain your genitalia? Something like that. Let me get the exact quote. And Jerry said, and as only Jerry said, and he said actually it was a question. He sprained his. Tyler Smith said he sprained his nuts. Can we say nuts?
Sprained his walnuts.
And Jerry says, of course, Jerry, all you have to do is throw it up to him. He gonna give you something. I mean, you can do it stepping off the curb, or you can do it at midnight. Was he talking about midnight at the Cowboys game? We're talking about midnight at the house. Because it was midnight. The game ended at 12:59.
I've seen you and Jerry together with drinks at midnight, so you would know better than I.
But so it's but it's he's always going to give you something. Speaking of what he gave you today, he says unlike Michael Parsons is getting better, but it's unlikely he would go. It's iffy. He said iffy, and you got the bye week after this, And the good news is you got the 2 wins, so the desperation is not the same as it would have been if you had lost to the Steelers.
Correct.
And you have a chance to get him healthy, so it don't linger. You want him back, but you also want him healthy and effective. You don't want him to mess it up, and then you're dealing with this the entire rest of the season when you need him out there. Tyler Guyton said should be fine. Nealon obviously is going to be several weeks, and certainly we know it's going to be several weeks for Brandon Cooks and the rest of the guys. But Micah, maybe this week. If not this week, you certainly should have him back for a flawed 49ers team. And I think it's one thing that people understand. We get so caught up in this area about how the Cowboys are playing. Look across the league. Look how the 49ers are playing. Look how the Eagles are playing.
I watched that Arizona game because the 49ers.
Right.
And the Niners were in front, and Kyler Murray came right back and helped deliver that win.
They didn't score any points in the second half, I don't think.
Dude, it was, and this was at home. This was a home. This was
right.
a brutal. You go and, my guy Rob Stats Guerrero does that 49er side out there. I mean, the natives are restless. Okay, they are restless with management and the head coach out there. So that's a frustrated bunch. But speaking of Marshawn Nealon being out, does that mean our man King Henry's coming up at defensive end? He was not active.
Yeah, I mean and they worked out 2 defensive ends today. I don't know if I talked about that. They worked out 2 defensive ends. They worked out Denzel Mims and another receiver. Denzel Mims, a former Baylor receiver, former second-round pick, who's been a bust everywhere he's gone. But he got to work out today.
So nice.
And
so nice with that. Good. Bust. Wow.
A disappointment. He's a second-round pick. He's not. I mean, I don't know what you want. I don't know what you want me to say. He's been a second-round pick.
Man. You say what you say.
Has any Baylor receiver hit since all the Baylor receivers that
easy.
Terrence Williams?
I'm sorry. Has any of them hit? Let's talk about it.
Outside that,
and Terrence Williams, we can talk about. He was a 3rd-round pick. How about all the 1st-round picks that come out of Baylor's receivers? Have any of them hit?
Disappointment. Quarterbacks.
We've struggled.
Quarterbacks.
I'm just saying
Bryce Petty. RG3.
Petty wasn't a first round pick.
But a first round. But I said quarterbacks. He said first round. I just said quarterbacks.
We can talk about them TC receivers too. Have any of them hit?
Turpin.
He wasn't a first round draft pick.
Was he a TC receiver? He was a returner. Who went through hell and back. He went to hell and back. I'm talking about the 1st-round pick, Dotson and our boy that can't catch up in Carol and
Jalen Rager.
Jalen Rager, so no, you stay out Baylor. We got a lot of them TC receivers that not hitting either. But the bottom line is they worked out a few guys. And Max Duggan, speaking of TCU quarterback, he was not an official workout. He was there to throw to the receivers since he's in the area. But, hey, you get a chance to throw in front of the scouts, you're going to take it. Right. Cowboys may need a 3rd quarterback, next year, a developmental quarterback. And we'll see if they add somebody. But, yeah, with Nealon out, let's give credit to the guys that did play, the Tyrus Wheat and those guys, and who you're out without DeMarcus Lawrence and without Micah Parsons, and you lose Nealon, and you basically have 3 healthy defensive ends on the roster in that game when you held up against the run. So give Golston credit, give Tyrus Wheat credit, give Lawson credit. They were actually going to have to play some linebackers at defensive end if they had lost one, and those guys rotated the whole game and held up strong. And so, yeah, KJ Henry, who they signed off the practice squad of the Bengals last week, sure, he has a chance to play this week because they need him. They're down another defensive end.
Is Carson going to play this week? Did Jerry speak about that at all?
We don't know. I got a question though. Do they need Carson back? What's man 27 name? Can you say his name? Because I don't want to mess his name up.
Or your Wale?
Are you guessing or are you saying? You didn't say it with a lot of confidence.
Are you Warrior? Or you Warrior? 27. Ayo. Ayo. Brother man. Brother man.
No, real talk. He's played well. Let's be honest about it. He's played well. He's been competitive. He's played well.
Yeah, play a little better. We'll know your name.
Well, no. Well,
or your RA.
Can you stop? He's played well. He certainly played well at my boy from Minnesota. He's not in the media guide, so he wasn't on the team. He's not in the media guide. He's not in the media guide. Look on that other sheet over there. You get his full name. The other sheet right there. The game book. Not that one. Not that one right there. But what I'm saying, he's played well. He's been competitive. He got an interception. He had a nice pass deflection the other day. He's played well. I'm just saying, I know Carson's going to be healthy, but do we want to rush Carson back in the game? Because he did not play that well to me when he was in there.
Let's see, where is he at here?
Don't know how to find. He's added to not in the bio. They got players not in the media guide.
He's right here. I'm looking right here. See Dalvin Cook.
Not in the media guide. Right. Yeah, that guy, he might be cut.
Mr. Booth?
What are you doing?
I'm looking for it, man. Looking for it. Trying to get his name. KJ Henry. You got Linval Joseph. Carl
He's
Lawson.
on the practice squad. There, right there.
All right.
Can you call him Amani? Can you just call him Amani? It tells you how you say it now.
Oruware. Oruware.
His daddy called him Amani. I'm going to call him Amani.
Oruware.
Keep doing what you're doing, Amani. You're playing well. We're gonna get your name right. We're going to get your name right. You're playing well, and I think it's a question of do you just insert Carson back in the lineup?
Good question. All right, when we come back, Jerry Jones was conducting business in Arlington today, and Clarence was there. We'll discuss it next right here on the Media Mash. I'm Newy Scruggs. This is DallasCowboys.com radio.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the Playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
Raising Cane's presents the other rules of football. Rule 1. Any broadcast without the express addition of cooked-to-order Cane's chicken fingers is prohibited. Rule 12. No crinkle-cut fries, Texas toast, or craveable Cane sauce constitutes an illegal formation. And Rule 31. Anybody who loves to feed their game face is an eligible receiver of Cane's. When it comes to winning game day, Cane's rules. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love. Go Cowboys.
Drawback finds Pearson. It's caught. Touchdown.
The Dallas Morning News delivers full press coverage of the Cowboys.
Aikman straight drop, throws it over the middle. Irvin in for the touchdown, Cowboys.
We cover your Cowboys from the preseason to the postseason and beyond.
Boot to the right. Looking down the field. Lamb. Victory.
Game by game, play by play. No one delivers your Cowboys like the Dallas Morning News. Connect deeper to the Dallas Cowboys with the Dallas Morning News.
Hey, Cowboy fans, I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. But lately, I've been learning a new game, crypto. Sound confusing? Don't worry, even us pros were rookies in crypto once. That's why I trust blockchain.com. They make crypto easy. No confusing jargon, just the tools to help you win.
Prescott keeps it, slides with a first down.
Invest like your icons, where everyone is a rookie in crypto with blockchain.com.
Perfect throw, my goodness. Wow, did he ever thread the needle.
Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys to get started.
Back to Media Mash.
Media Mash. Mega Sci-Fi style. Clarence Hill, Newy Scruggs, final segment right here. Jerry Jones was busy in Arlington today. That is the site of AT&T Stadium, also the site of Globe Life Field, home of the Texas Rangers, and Choctaw Stadium, the former home of the Texas Rangers, with a big old announcement, and the captain, Roger Penske, was in town for this one. Clarence, take it away.
Yeah. Jerry Jones finna make some more money, okay? Jerry Jones finna make some more money. Shocking. He's teaming up with
Dave Chappelle, Jim, when you cut the money.
teaming up with the Rangers and Roger Penske. They're going to do a basically IndyCar series through the city of Arlington, around Jerry World, around the Rangers ballpark. It's going to be great. Big time press conference today. It's called the Grand Prix of Arlington. And it's that's fun. That's interesting. Those things, listen, we love Texas Motor Speedway, all the left turns, but the car races through the city. Remind me of old speed racing. Remember speed racing back in the day?
Yes. It's like our own version of Monaco. Texas, Monaco, Texas, right?
Yeah, all speeding, through the city. But the Grand Prix Arlington 2026. We've got a couple of years, but they showed a video of the, what the track is going to look like. It's going to be great. You got the, it's not the same year, obviously before the World Cup comes here. The city of Arlington, let's be honest about it. We love being out in Frisco. A lot of things happen in Frisco. But the Arlington say, y'all ain't going to quit us. We got the Rangers, we got the Cowboys, we got Six Flags, and we keep bringing stuff here for you to keep.
Renegades won a championship.
Yeah, we keep bringing stuff here. We are the sports capital of North Texas. We're going to keep things coming here. And again, they got the new Lowe's Hotel out there. Things are popping.
The convention center.
The new convention center. All things are popping in Arlington. It's going to be the Grand Prix of Arlington. Of course, we were there for the event, but, we got to ask Jerry football questions.
Let me just say this about the road race. When I worked in Los Angeles, Long Beach did this very thing, too, where they raced through this, and it was good. Bottom line, it's good. And I'll be interested to see exactly how they get it all done. But I remembered that IndyCar race coming into Long Beach, and it was always it was a big deal. It was a good event. So, yes, TMS, the folks out there, the late Eddie Gossage,
yes,
they would do 2 IndyCar races a year. Did a really good job. Had some fantastic close finishes. This will be different, and I think auto racing fans, should look forward to this. And you just talk about this state between a Grand Prix being down there in Arlington in 2026, the Formula One race down there at Austin,
right?
Still having cut races in Texas. I mean, they
got something in Houston too as well. I know the one in Austin. And the quick aside on the one in Austin, the Formula One race in Austin this year, same weekend as Texas, Georgia. The hotels, you can't.
It won't be a hotel for you.
Hotels.
You'll be out in Georgetown. You'll be in Georgetown.
You might be in Waco.
Trying to get in there.
Because you got the world. I mean, it's going to be crazy. But yeah, so we're out there. All the beat writers are out there. DeMarcus Ware was out there. He's been ambassador. Love DeMarcus Ware. He's out there with Pudge.
I forgot you guys got Kirby this year.
Yeah, in Austin. Yeah. Yeah.
You see the news on one of his players today?
Yeah, so Georgia don't care about the law.
Boy. Georgia like Baylor. Art Briles. They just took over the whole playbook, man. Bringing in all kind of dudes.
Baylor was raping people. Georgia just got bad driver's licenses.
Speeding, yes.
Killing folks and speeding. They got bad driver's license, but this current incident was worse than that. But talked to Jerry about football. Last week on the radio show, it jumped out to me that somebody asked Jerry or brought up to suggested that Jerry was going through a soft rebuild. And it appeared that Jerry co-signed that, saying, yeah, you're right on that, but we're still trying to win with young guys and whatever else. I didn't write anything about it. A lot of people jumped on it. See, Jerry says we're in a soft rebuild. We're in a soft rebuild. They're not trying to win, and I didn't necessarily jump on it. But today I took the opportunity to reset the question. Jerry, what do you mean by soft rebuild? You said on the radio. And he vehemently denied that that he's doing. That's what he said. He wasn't co-signing on that. We signed these guys. We signed Dak. We're not rebuilding and everything. There's nothing about what we're doing. It's the soft. And he denied. He says you have to play young players because that's the game. But he vehemently denied that he was co-signing any type of soft rebuild this season. A lot of people said the Cowboys are on the low tanking this season. A lot of people have suggested that they're not trying to win this season. Because they haven't been all in. But that's been a suggestion out there.
Yeah,
and they said, well, because they're really tanking, or they're really, they're not trying to win because they're trying to load up for next, whatever, trying to get the money right. And Jerry he denied it.
It's interesting you say that, because a team I thought was doing a soft rebuild and setting the coach up to get fired last year was Tampa Bay.
Right.
When they brought in Baker Mayfield because Tom Brady had retired, he was like, well, okay, we'll give Baker a job. Nobody else wants to have him here. And they made the playoffs.
Right.
And did well.
And are doing well this year.
And Baker Mayfield is now showing you that this is a legitimate first-round pick, and he's revived his career. So I can see
coaching matters. They're being coached well.
Always has mattered.
Yeah.
Always has mattered. So I can see where people can take these things. But to me, when you are spending this kind of money towards a quarterback, to me, you're not trying to rebuild, because you're not going to put that. It's the highest contract that you're going to pay in sports, in that sport. Even Jacksonville, despite what's going on there, when they committed the money to Jacksonville, Shad Khan told me he's trying to win.
Right.
And I think if you're rebuilding, you're not trying to invest resources in the quarterback position that you don't think there's any hope for.
Right. So I think that I was trying to say that he was trying to thread the needle on competing and rebuilding on the fly. And you're trying to thread the needle because you still need to compete. You got quarterback, you're paying that kind of money. You got a fan base that is starving to win. So you never can say I'm rebuilding anyway. Right. But you're trying to thread the needle. Well, yes, I need to get the money right, because you got a lot of situations out there that have to be handled before you can really invest, if you ever will invest outside of your own guys, into rebuilding. But I think that regardless of how you want to suggest it, the facts are the Cowboys did not, outside of paying Dak and CD, they did not invest a lot in this roster to win this year. And as we talked about it, that's the goal. And again, 3-2 they should feel good about where they are. It's a tough road ahead, tough schedule ahead, lots of landmines ahead. If Mike and Dak get this team to 9 or 10 wins, I would think this is a great job that they've done.
Okay, so I'll just kind of go from there.
They get them into the playoffs, especially with they were not given an offseason, and then the injuries they've had to overcome. You got to give them credit.
Forget the credit. Do you give Mike a contract?
That's the question. Because again, it's always the big picture. No one, and I don't want to be saying the wrong things, but as the old folks used to say, "Don't tell me about the labor, show me the baby."
That was Mike. That was Bill Parcells. Don't show me the labor, show me the baby.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, results is all that matters. That's you're only gonna get judged by your results, and we know the league has injuries. You have to overcome things. Just like you talked last year, about down in Tampa. People only care about the results. At the end of the day, you're only gonna be judged by your results. No one's gonna talk about the road that you had to travel to get there.
Okay. Last thing about the radio show. Dalvin Cook. He was listening.
No, it's funny because they didn't, and that's the thing about it. Gets me. Look, I like what Rico did. People act like Rico was O.J. Simpson. I'm not O.J. Was Emmitt Smith.
What?
I'm old school, man. I loved O.J. Simpson as a football player. As a football player.
I mean,
he was greatness in the 70s.
Terry Bradshaw there trying to put Deshaun Watson down, and you got Rico as O.J. Simpson. I tell you, boy,
I don't have him O.J. Simpson. I'm just saying.
You just said, he's O.J. Simpson.
How about Emmitt Smith?
I'm saying that's okay. What I'm saying is he had a solid game, but let's not act like the running game is fixed. Are we? Because he
was a Bronco out there, right? Rico was a Bronco running away out there in Pittsburgh. What? Like a Bronco, white Bronco.
See, I'm talking about O.J., the football player, one of the greatest ever when I was a kid. Anyway, I'm sorry.
White TV guy.
Listen, and he was sliding in the snow with the electric company. And Jim Braxton is a fullback.
Nobody knows what you're talking about right now.
Okay.
I know.
Listen, O.J. was so great. I used to tell people, O.J. was so great as a football player that people wanted to be his fullback. They wanted to be Jim Braxton. I used to be, I'm going to be OJ, and my boy used to say, I'm going to be Jim Braxton. It was like the Moose Johnson got famous because he's blocking for Emmitt Smith. When you're great, those people in front of you get famous too.
So that's what you were in Schulenburg? You was Jim Braxton?
No, I was OJ. I just said my boy wanted to be Jim Braxton. I was the I-back, okay? I am hip. That's way before your time. Nebraska I-back. But anyway.
Dalvin Cook, is he playing or not? We're about to run out of time here, man. You got 8 seconds.
They punted on the question. That's my point. Everybody was so excited about what Rico did. No one asked him about Dalvin Cook on the radio today. So we did ask him about Zeke, at the Texas Live and Dalvin Cook, and he basically has a long season, and people will get the opportunities, but he didn't answer the question, no.
All right.
Because before we leave,
you're saying there's a chance.
Before we leave, though, I do want to say this. Why did they bring Zeke back? They're not going to use him. Especially, I can understand you say Rico is great between the 20s. Okay, but why would you not lose Zeke on the goal line? Why would you not use him in the red zone?
So this is the beauty of an episode that we lead into another episode, because the Media Mash will be back here tomorrow. And we'll have Jacques Taylor in here. This is Jacques in today.
Yeah, he's his Buckeye guy.
You approved him on Wednesday, Thursday.
Don't do this.
So Jacques will be in here. We'll dive into that more.
Yeah, it's worth asking because I asked Zeke last week. They saved you in training camp. They didn't use you in the preseason, and now they're not using you now. Why?
Let's dive into that with a Buckeye alum, Jacques Taylor, tomorrow on the Media Mash. Clarence Hill, thank you very much. Chris, Jazz, Joshy. Thank you all for helping us get this done. I'm Newy Scruggs. We'll talk to you tomorrow right here on DallasCowboys.com radio.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?